Greetings, my brothers and sisters. How y'all doing today? Hope all is well. Shalom and blessings. I want to come to you all today with a video. No specific topic. Just to exercise, my thoughts, voicing my thoughts on the matters of life and truth. As we know, every day, day by day, what I'm saying, it's a different battle, different struggle. The spirit is tested, every day. And one thing about it is that perseverance, like the test of life, we all go through tests in life, and coming to the truth, you have to understand that if someone sees life as dandy and if anybody sees this world as just the end all be all, then that person doesn't truly understand or has an understanding, a hold of like what life truly consists of, what it requires of you, what it requires of us all. Life, and more so even the reality of life, abundance of life, that reality, paradise, Eden, the kingdom of heaven. That's a place that we seek. We understand that it's not here. And so you can't see the world as perfect. If you do, if one sees the world as perfect and that person has not seen the ugliness of it, blinded by the entertainment, the distraction of it, the pleasure that it seeks to give, a low pleasure, a pleasure that brings about a sense of a low mindset within us. Too much entertainment, too much can become distraction. And understand that any industry in this world on a major level has purposeful influence embedded in it, so that people can take it in and unknowingly take in agendas of the enemy. Everything on the stage, has the enemy's hand in it. And so what I say is, understand the importance of having a mind of your own, being able to think like no other, being able to think outside of this world and far greater and above this world, to have the ability to discern. And when you see this large deception on a large scale, don't fear it. Don't fear it, because understand this: no matter how big the crowd is, they can still be wrong as a collective. The world and the enemy who rules above it. Well, let's say the dynamic of the enemy who runs the world and the world itself is like the serpent and Eve. And the serpent banks on the woman's desire for more, but that more is less. Simplicity is something that many despise or many see as a waste of life, because the enemy flashes and parades this glamorous or this fun lifestyle, but it's only death decorated. You know, it's a decoration of death. And so just like the tree of knowledge of good and evil, it was pleasurable, pleasing to the sight, and desirable to make one wise. You know, but the end result of it was death. And that feeling of power was only just a feeling. And so, as I said, the enemy who governs the world is like the serpent. The word itself is like the woman, under the illusion of the serpent. And what the serpent seeks to sell the woman is freedom from the man, to make it as if the man's position of leadership and to lead her and guide her is rather a position of bondage for her. To open up her desire to explore her own desires. But man and woman has to understand that there's a limit to their desires. Understand this. Imagine a woman may feel a way in a relationship, and there's a man who wants that woman. In a moment of weakness of that relationship, that man who wants that woman will target her, and he will target her feeling. Tell her what she may be thinking, what she can potentially think, and to validate her and what she thinks, to validate her and her desire for something outside of the relationship, something that breaks the bond. And if the man allows it, then he follows in the way of Adam. Do not allow, well, first I say, as a woman, understand there's honor and beauty, inward beauty, and truly knowing how to keep and contain and maintain yourself. Because a woman who understands even her makeup, and that she is made in a vulnerable way. She is the man's vulnerability. To overcome and to show a sense of strength, she looks to her man or her husband, who, if she looks to him and he be right, he's strong for her. And all she has to do is acknowledge that. You know, no one can convince you, and convincing or in tempting by words, no one can make someone do something, you know. But the woman is more susceptible to these temptations. But just like how we are to remember the Most High in all this darkness of the world, so a woman is to remember her husband. And just like how we look to the Most High and we see him as the rock, our salvation, strong, knowing nothing can overcome him and nothing is greater than him, nothing is above him. So likewise, a man is to, in a sense, exercise his spirit to be like what we see the Most High as. And it's important to seek to get a realistic image. I say that to say the doctrines that in the end bring about a sense of grace with no result, that can easily fool many in this day and age. You know, it's like, imagine a relationship. You have a woman who's been through a lot in life and who has made mistakes, you know. But a man has, worked with her and accepted her flaws and stuff, so long as she shows a sense of reciprocation to his word, his guidance, his lead, that will form her, shape her, mold her, and instill in her a certain knowledge and understanding, so that she doesn't move about as if she's still lost in her ways, stuck in her ways. And that is a love that is selfless. You know, a man who wants to see a woman kept safe, and he can only seek to instill that within her by leading how he leads and guiding her. But she has to receive it and allow it to register within her and blossom within her to truly grow into something, become, that manner of woman for that man. And that's if it's in a relationship. But even a woman can look to the Most High, But again, don't be deceived by the doctrines of this world, where women seek to look to the Most High and seem as if they prioritize the Most High, while pushing this message of hate and despise against the man. Be careful of that. Because I just say there needs to be space, a sense of humility somewhere in order to have space for reflection. And if you seek to pedestalize yourself in the eyes of the Most High, then who can tell you, or who can help you, see better, see better than, or in a sense, to take the speck out your eye, to give you a better insight, better insight on something that you may not be able to see, So yeah. with that being said, I just say, be careful. Life and this journey, understand it comes with a sense of understanding your worth, self-worth. But understand that you have to have a humility unto the Most High. Nobody is nobody is high enough to not have a sense of humility unto the Most High. That brings about pride. And like we know, pride comes before the fall. So I just say, seek within your heart and mind to truly look for what's right. Look for what's right. Seek after what's right. And it can be hard to understand, but give your mind unto the Most High. Exercise like giving your mind, and surrendering your mind in a sense to His will. It takes strength to be weak sometimes. Strength to be humble, because we know of our pleasures that are against us. We know of the world that is against us. We know of people around us that's against us. So it creates within us. It can create within us a desire to fight. But if you understand this is a spiritual warfare, like the word says, the wisdom of the world is foolish to God, and the wisdom of the Most High is foolish to the world. Many won't understand. So with that, I'm saying, don't be so caught up in war mentality to the point where you leave no humility available for the one who, if anything, is fighting by your side, who's giving you the strength to fight. Many think they know. Many think, they know what they're doing. Many think they are winning. Many think to provoke you, to test you, that they are winning. But certainty in that you've won, and you win by being on the winning side already. It's all already been overcome. You just got to find yourself in alignment with victory. And misery is what drives some people. And when they see they can't bring you low, bring you down, can't cause you to stumble, it's either a fear of something greater that they see, or they continue being just who they are, But as it's a spiritual warfare, I just say be wise, be strong, mentally. Low-minded, immature-minded individuals will try, you know, just like the Pharisees and all those who sought to provoke the prophets and the Son, you know, those who mock the Most High. Even as it says, you know, those who may say they believe, who worship with their mouth, but their heart is far from you. You know, many people can take the idea and the understanding of the Creator and make their own God in a way, you know, to shape them into one who doesn't hold you to something, who's all forgiving. That's one part of it. The next part is to seek to get right for him. Like I was saying earlier, if a man takes in a woman who's had hardships, who's had struggles, had flaws, and he leads her and guides her and molds her into a better woman, you know, or let's say if he takes her in, does it end at just taking her in and as she continues her ways, or would it be also about bringing about that change? He doesn't want to see her in the same state. And what she has to understand is that her ways, her wants can be against her. Don't take for granted true love that seeks to see you do better. It's not about control. It's not about being domineering. It's about wanting to see somebody do better and overcome. I pray y'all be blessed in the name of the begotten Son. I pray to God, Father, I'll be out. Amen.